So thanks for joining us. As I said, again, this is an exciting time for dress. We've spent, I'd say, the past year and a half having many conversations about how we can better engage our network of supporters and utilize your various skill sets to help dress accomplish its mission. 2020 pushed us to be innovative and flexible and stretch our resources like never before. And we learned a lot, and we're proud of the way we've been able to serve the Central Texas community. I'm really happy to introduce tonight Mia Johns. She is the Executive Director of Dress for Success Austin and our fearless leader. Many of you on the call know her. Those of you who don't will get to meet her now, and hopefully as you join us and join Circle of Impact, you'll get to interact with her more and more. So Mia, go ahead.
Thanks, Dominique. Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm sure you're cooking dinner or doing something, or I see some people are enjoying a beverage, which is awesome. But like Dominique said, I'm Executive Director. I've been at Dress for Success for almost 10 years, which I cannot believe. And we're going to tell you all about Circle of Impact tonight, but if you don't decide to join, we just appreciate having you here on the call because you're going to learn so much about us. And regardless, if you join Circle of Impact or not, we hope you do. You'll be ambassadors now for us in the community. And that is just so important because, and a lot of you on this call know that we only have 4 staff as of now. And 90% of our income goes directly to helping clients. We run really, really lean. And many of you know, because you're volunteers, 97% of our services are delivered by volunteers. So we need groups like Circle of Impact because we have to expand our reach, right? And we have to get all of you out in the community or on Zoom calls, talking to other people and talking about our mission and that we are more than clothing. And I know that Circle of Impact wants to support our Path to Employment program. You'll learn all about it. It really works, y'all. We've been working so hard putting it together. It's so successful. The mentors like it. The client mentees love it. So you'll really learn all about it and you'll be able to talk about it in the community. So thanks so much for being here this evening. And my door's always open. We'd love for you to come for a visit. Thanks, Dominique.
Thanks, Mia. So as Mia said, we're talking about Circle of Impact here. I wanted to share the mission with you guys. You see it here on the screen, to bring together a community of passionate individuals, men and women, with shared goals to support a specific career development program at Dress, and to raise community awareness about Dress's mission of helping Central Texas women secure gainful employment. I know that's a lot of words, and a lot of you already are passionate about Dress, and I am overly passionate and excited about what Dress does in the community for women, for anyone who identifies as a woman. It's just amazing what we can do and what we can do together. One of the reasons I love this idea, we were talking about names for this new organization, and I love the idea of having a circle, right? Because whole together, all of us linked arms, and Mia talked about how our organization is lean, right? It's small on staff and heavy on volunteers. But so with that in mind, when we talk about volunteer groups, we thought over this last COVID year, and we actually started these conversations a little bit before that, how do we have a lean, mean fighting volunteer workforce, right? We had a couple of different arms at Dress for Success in previous years. Advisory Council, you all may have heard of Women of Wardrobe, and a few others. What we're doing here is we are merging those groups under one united umbrella, so that we're maximizing efficiency and we're maximizing effectiveness. So many of our volunteers have incredible backgrounds and skills, and we just really want to put that together for one dedicated mission. So what does fulfilling this mission look like? Well, it's fundraising with a specific purpose. Mia mentioned Path to Employment. Each year, we're designating a workforce development program that all of Circle of Impact funding will go to. So with that in mind, it's 2021, we're halfway through the year, we're making this transition and this unveiling. So this goal will be for the remainder of 2021 and 2022. If you haven't heard of Dress's Path to Employment program, I'll talk about it a little bit here. Reach out to me with questions, continue to do a little more research on it. It's absolutely wonderful. It's actually one of the programs that I love to talk about the most in the community, because we're taking a cohort of women. It's usually, I would say, anywhere between 15 and 20. So it's a small group environment. And for several weeks, they, go through coursework, they get paired with mentors. We have businesses who come in and do kind of career development classes and discussions for them. We get them set up with resume building, LinkedIn profiles, practice interviewing skills, helping them gain that job. A lot of times, the women find, our clients find this so helpful that they even find employment before the program is over. And what I love best about Path to Employment is that it's not a one-stop shop. I went into Dress, I sent out an email, somebody helped me once, never heard from them again. Most of our mentor-mentee pairings continue that relationship after Path to Employment is over and they've graduated the program. They find that the relationship is that meaningful and deep to both of them, that they continue on their own to invest time together to help, build those skills. I like to call it your professional tool belt. We all could add tools to our tool belt to make us a little, better of a catch for an employer, or help us get a next promotion, or help us work on negotiating better salary and benefits that help our families, right? And so we uplift one woman, we uplift a whole family here at Dress. So that's what we're all about. The Circle of Impact all of its funding will go to Path to Employment, as I said. We also want to build our volunteer network. You'll hear me say this over the next 18 months ad nauseum, that we're going to practice what we preach. When we talk to Dress clients and you talk to them about the importance of networking, about relationship building, a lot of times, sometimes your next job comes from a job board, but a lot of times it comes from a conversation you had over coffee with someone you bumped into at HEB or at a networking event. So we also, as volunteers, want to build our network. And that's one of the benefits, I think, to merging our groups. We have volunteers who run the gamut in their professional careers. Some are on their first job, all the way to retirees, senior level people, and everything in between. And we also need to leverage each other's skills and connect with each other so that we're building a stronger volunteer force in Central Texas for Dress. So we're going to nurture and build community partnerships in our Circle of Impact. A lot of you, joined us for the restaurant series just a month ago. That's an example of community partnerships that we're going to try to build with Dress. What are creative ways and other organizations that we can partner with, who have like-minded, who are like-minded and believe in Dress's mission? How can we connect small businesses and other organizations to Dress? The more relationships we build within the community, the better it serves Dress clients. Off of restaurant series alone, if someone comes into Dress and they say, hey, I really want to, one day be a general manager at a restaurant, how do I do that? We've now started to build relationships with restaurants and leaders in the restaurant industry that we could possibly reach back to and say, I have someone for you to mentor. Would you mind giving a class or a discussion on X? So, that's what we're doing. We're thinking outside the box. We're, adding to our professional tool belt and building these community partnerships through events and initiatives. The overall structure of the Circle of Impact, there's an executive team, which consists of myself as president, a vice president, treasurer, secretary, and 4 committee chairs. To join Circle of Impact, unlike in some of our other initiatives volunteer initiatives we've had in the past, you don't have to be involved in a committee. We want you involved in a committee. We want you actively involved and helping us, reach our goals. But we know that everyone's life is busy. You might have to come in and out. So if you're interested in Circle of Impact, but you don't think that you have the time to fully commit to one of our committees, you don't think you have the bandwidth to take on a leadership role, that's okay. Please still join. We want you to have all the information out there. We want you to be able to step in and out as it best fits your life style and just your time commitments, but we still want you to be plugged in this way. If you are considering taking, our executive team is full, and I will introduce that team in a little bit, but in coming years, if you want to be on take a leadership position, be on the executive team, you will have to have spent some time in committee, so keep that in mind. The dues or annual giving levels there are 3 levels: $250 a year, $500 a year, and then $1,000+ a year. You can choose what level you want to give at. And one of the reasons we're doing this, and this is a big change, I think, from previous years, is we want a range of levels because we also want to be inclusive in our volunteer network. We have, like I said before, volunteer women who are grad students, they're first-time job people, all the way to retirees. And so we know that everyone's finances are in different places, but if you want to serve and you want to help and you want to empower women, we want you to come. And we don't want the dollar amount to be the barrier to that. So we've specifically designed this for 3 different levels. So the minimum entry requirement is $250 for the year. That amount is a give or raise. I'll say that again, it's a give or raise. So if I say, okay, in my budget, I can give $150, then I can, hopefully get someone, maybe my employer to match. Maybe I can get a friend or a family member. Maybe I can just collect donations, do a Facebook birthday fundraising drive and collect another $100. And that will go towards my dues for the entire year. So it's a give or raise. It's very inclusive, you all. So we want to make sure that opportunity is for everybody. Our executive team, I know these are a lot of names. The next slide has wonderful pictures of all these beautiful people. But I wanted you to have the names out there. I will be president leading this organization for the next 18 months. So you can feel free to reach me. Again, my contact information will be at the end of this slide. I have a wonderful team. Karen Stevens is my vice president. Marianne, secretary. Faye is our treasurer. Carol is our development chair. Jama and Christy are co-chairs for communications committee. Miss Candace is our governance chair, and Sarah is our events chair. I want to just quickly go through the committees because I think that people might have questions about exactly what all those titles mean. So for our communications committee, we'll be producing quarterly newsletters and some monthly announcements. So they're going to craft the messaging for that. I want to make sure, again, for those of you who said, I want to join, sign me up, but I can't be at every meeting and I can't join a committee. I want you to have all the information you need to share with your networks, to jump in where you can. And so we're going to do that through a lovely little newsletter and some monthly email updates so everyone can stay in the loop. And Jama and Christy will take care of that for us. And the development committee, this committee to me is a team of creative thinkers. They're going to develop and manage community partnerships. So they're really looking at getting donations and help from other organizations and businesses in Central Texas area. They'll broker monetary and resource donations. A good example, I think it was called Lively. I don't know if that store remains at the Domain, but it was a lingerie, bra, underwear type store. Before pandemic, we were reaching out to them about a mass donation of undergarments for women. And so that would be an example of a business partnership that we're trying to develop in some of those leads. For events, Sarah is our events chair, and we're going to put on quarterly events and initiatives. Our first event, which I'll talk about later, will be a launch party for Circle of Impact and a membership drive. But we also want to put on some networking events for our volunteer groups. So professional speakers, my hope, and hopefully I'm not saying this prematurely, but my hope is that we can invite graduates of the Path to Employment program to our Circle of Impact networking events. And that's what I mean when I say practice what you preach. Those women, we want to give them access to us too. We want to continue to foster these relationships and encourage them and help them when and where we can. And you see all these beautiful faces. I'm gonna next slide. So take one last look at all these gorgeous people. So for our goals, Path to Employment cost about $20,000 per cohort, okay? So 20,000 grand to get that group of women, 15 to 20 women through the program. Let's say 15. I think the last cohort maybe was 17. Mia could maybe correct me there. 17, okay, that's it, 17. So 20,000 per cohort. In 2021, which I know is halfway over, 6 months left, I'm giving you guys a stretch goal. I want to fund one cohort in 2021, $20,000 by December 31st. I want to double that goal in 2022 and fund 2 cohorts. It's 40 grand. And I know that might seem like a big number to some people, but I really believe that it's possible and that we can do that. There's so many dynamic people on this call. There's so many dynamic people already working on Circle of Impact to help stand up this organization. And I really believe that it's possible. So how are we going to get there? You might be saying, Dominique, how are we going to get there? It's nice to put a number up, but how do we do it? So for 2021, we have a jump start. You know, again, I mentioned restaurant series. A lot of you might have participated for one dinner or the entire month. We raised over $10,000 for restaurant series, and that will go to Circle of Impact. For those of you who might be interested in the specific numbers, we made $16,840 total. We sent $6,600 directly to restaurant pockets because it was COVID, restaurant industry was hard. We didn't want to ask them to cook for us for free. So that left $10,240 donated to Dress for Success in one event. And it was a month-long event, but for one event, 4 dinners, that's what we made. So we are halfway to goal for 2021. So that's why I think it's really possible. If 40 people gave $250, signed up for Circle of Impact at that initial level, that's $10,000. If 20 people gave at the mid-level $500, that's $10,000. Again, we are going to seek donations and sponsorships from businesses and other organizations. So let's say we got $5,000 donated from business X during an event, and then 20 more people gave $250. That's $10,000. So I'm hoping that when I lay it out like that, you guys don't feel overwhelmed by the number. 10 grand by December 31st, I think is doable. 10 grand is already in the till. That's one cohort funded for 2021. Okay. And again, we're doubling that goal in 2022 because I think we can do it. The first event initiative that we have, get excited, people, is a launch party for Circle of Impact and a membership drive. This is going to be on July 28th. So please save that date in your calendar. It will be in the evening. Location to be determined. We have a couple of venues that we are looking at. It will be an in-person event, but with an indoor-outdoor space, just making sure that everyone's feeling COVID comfortable. Now that vaccines are out there, a lot of us are vaccinated. I'm not going to get preachy about it, but Dress is starting to do some indoor things as well. They've had a couple of small groups come back into the Tillery Street location and do some volunteering in person in the last couple of weeks. That's a first that's happened since, way back when, 2 marches ago. We're all excited to see each other. And I think it's really important that we connect in person. We're all coming out of hiding and work from home and all of the things. So we're going to celebrate in an in-person event. Bring a friend. There's going to be light bites and sips. It's going to be a great time. You'll probably have to listen to me talk again, but I know you can handle it. And we're just going to have fun on that evening. So July 28th, 2021. So how to join Circle of Impact. If you said, oh my gosh, Dominique, this little presentation was so good. Sign me up right now. I don't even want to wait for the party. I'm all in. Go to the donor view page. Teal may have already put that link in chat. I can't see the chat since I'm sharing screen. So we can get your information and you can join and sign up. You can also email me at circleofimpact@dressforsuccessaustin.org if you're like, the donor view page is not working, or I'm confused, or whatever. I have a question, or I just want to say hello. Please email me. That's fine as well. And with that, keeping it short and sweet, I just want to thank everyone for being on this call. I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. I'm so excited, so excited. I hope that you guys can feel that. It's on my heart to help as many women as we can. Pandemic, there's many articles and many studies done that pandemic actually hit women the hardest, as a lot of women were pulled out of the workforce to stay at home with their kids. Homeschooling, work from home is not work for everyone, depending on the age of your kids and what else you have going on, depending on the type of job you do. So there's a real big need out there for us to continue doing this work and to invest specifically into women in our community. So I hope that you join me and the rest of my executive team. Hope that you join and support the staff at Dress. Even if you say Circle of Impact's not for me at this moment, continue to support Dress for Success Austin. They have so many other programs. We're focusing on Path to Employment, but they've got programs for veterans. They've got their laptop initiative, financial literacy classes. They have so many other things. So if that's on your heart and you want to donate specifically to those programs, do it. Go to Dress's website and get your card out and drop them a couple of funds, or raise your hand and say I want to volunteer. Either way, really happy to have you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'll stop sharing my screen so I can look at the chat and see if there's any leftover questions that I may have missed or need to revisit. Thank you all.